priest was contending against priest, and convert was contending against convert, in a strife of words and a contest about opinion.
In the midst of this war of words and tumult of opinions, I often said to myself, what is to be done? Who of all these parties are right, or are they all wrong together?
If any one of them be right, which is it, and how shall I know it? While I was laboring under the extreme difficulties caused by these parties of religionists, I was one day reading the Epistle of James, 1st chapter, 5th verse.
If any of you lack wisdom,
let him ask of God, that
Give it to all men liberally and
upbraideth not, and it shall be given
him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering.
The theme means to me that when you ask a question to God, He'll give you an answer.
Ask of God and have enough faith to ask Him anything and not hesitate.
I think it means like you can go to your Heavenly Father with any questions you might have, and then if you do have questions, you need to have a steadfast believing that He can answer them.
To me, I think the theme means that God is always listening, and that if we give Him enough time, He'll be able to answer our questions.
It means that you can always go to Him if you have any questions or if you need any help, because He's going to always be there.
The theme means to me that like anytime you have a question or something on your mind, you can just turn to God and hear what He has to say, or other church leaders.
I think it means like ask, and if you believe, you can get an answer to anything.
The theme means to me that whatever questions you have to God, you can ask Him and you know He'll give you the answer.
To me, this theme just means that you can always go to God and He's there to help you with anything you need, because we're His children and He loves you, so don't be afraid to ever ask Him anything.
I think the theme means that God's our friend and He's willing to listen to us.
Should I go on a mission?
I ask questions just about everything I do every day, but also just about gospel concepts I don't understand.
Are the scriptures really true?
Some questions I have are, should I go on missions, and where should I go to school?
I ask questions like, how can I strengthen my testimony and where can I look to help strengthen my testimony?
Am I on the right path?
What type of friends I should be hanging out with?
What signs I can receive for spiritual confirmation, or, ultimately like just doctrinal questions that I may have.
Is the church true?
Are my friends the right friends?
I think a main one, especially as teenagers, is just trying to figure out what your purpose is in the world and how you can become an advocate of Christ and how you can really show His example to others and help bring others closer to Christ.
Am I doing everything I can to become closer with the Lord?
Whenever I have a problem, I usually turn to my parents for questions, and if it's something that they can't answer, I usually turn to prayer and turn to God.
My friends, because they know what I'm going through.
I usually turn to God.
My parents, because I know they love me.
When I need answers, I turn to prayer, scriptures, or I go to the temple. When I have questions, I usually turn to my parents.
Scriptures or to pray to Heavenly Father, but if it's something more personal, then you can still ask in prayer or go to your parents or the bishop.
I normally turn to my friends or my parents, or I will pray about it and read the scriptures to look for answers.
I ask my parents and the teachers or God when I ask questions.
Either my parents or
Going to my parents is always a great way to get an answer, but if it's anything more spiritual or more personal, I can always turn to the Lord, and I feel comfortable doing so.
I usually turn to either my older sister, my brother, and then my parents too.
So when I have questions, I turn to my parents or I stay here.
I can get the answers through the scriptures or asking church leaders or my parents.
going to seminary and feeling the Spirit.
Listen to the promptings of the Spirit, and on our Father in Heaven's own time, you will receive your answer.
I receive answers by praying and looking in the scriptures.
I can receive answers through remaining faithful and keeping the Spirit with me constantly.
We can receive answers by praying and reading the scriptures, and also I think just doing things that will invite the Spirit so that it will be easier for you to receive and like acknowledge the answers.
I can receive answers to my questions by reading the scriptures.
You can find answers at the temple.
I receive answers to questions that I have through prayer and feeling good and peace about something or not, and also sometimes just in life, like in seminary, questions that I've had for a long time will just be randomly answered, and I know that God loves me through that.